Yo, what's going on, guys? Hello, hi, hey, what's up over there? Wherever you are. Let's see who's in here first. Oscar, Ermagerd, Zanzan, Wong, James. What's going on, guys? On Twitch. What was that? Omoragno, Brian and Travis. What's going on? I like the Twitch handle update there, Brian. Very nice. Let's see. Just log into the mobile app here real quick. People keep telling me to share my not the mobile app, I guess the game. People keep telling me to share my friend code. I need to do that. So later, I guess I'll put my friend code on my Facebook page on there. Just logging in. Use up my N real quick before we get started today. Don't want to have that just sitting there, not collecting, right? Even though I've got like a bazillion energy refill tickets. What are they called? Yeah. Got a bunch of those. Probably don't need to worry about it too much. But anyway, how you guys doing this morning? It's Migu. What? Oh my god, about time I don't miss the stream. Well, glad you could make it for the stream. We got a couple of pretty cool HG kits to build today. Pretty excited. So I already built the Jagan and the Jagan Equus type. Interestingly enough, let me check the poll and see actually which one was winning, because the Jagan Equus type and the Jim Cannon 2 were like tied. They kept going back and forth, and last I checked they were tied. Actually, the Jagan Equus type is now up a point, but sorry, I already built that one. So the Jagan review, actually the reviews for both the Jagan kits are already recorded. The regular Jagan review will be posted later today. Jagan Equus type review will be probably up tomorrow, and then the reviews for these two will be up shortly after that. But so thank you guys, those of you who voted, like around 600, just over 600 votes. So thanks, guys, for that. The Ez-8 was the pretty clear winner right from the start, but both the Jagan Equus type and the Jim Cannon 2 were both pretty close right behind it, so it was a pretty close race the entire time. So even though, I guess, up to this point, now the Jagan Equus type was actually the winner of the poll. But I did see a lot more people commenting about the Jim Cannon 2. There was a lot of comments saying like, oh, I really want to see the Jim Cannon 2. It's a kit that's really difficult to find. So I'm glad that I'm able to live build that one. And I mean, the Jagan, yes, I guess it ended up winning by 1 point. But a lot of people, I mean, have seen the Jagan. It's not that interesting at this point. So just doing my couple of free rolls here, and then we'll get started for today. Let's see. I've got some free capsule tickets, but I'm just saving them to just use whenever sometime later. And it's green, 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 all green, no fun. Okay, let's see. Hold out hope that maybe we can get some Arius parts here with the friend points. Come on, Arius parts. Dylan asking, how's your day going? It's going pretty good so far. It's just getting started, so nothing good. All right. Nothing worth anything, really, anyway. Can everyone in the chat go ahead and like the stream for our boy? Oh, thank you, Dylan. Yeah, everyone in the chat. I mean, if you feel so inclined to click a button, go ahead and like that stream. Much appreciated. So yeah. Gundam Warfare gameplay series when Zanzan. I don't know. Gaming, mobile gaming, any kind of gaming is just not something that I'm interested in doing on YouTube. I mean, yeah, probably not. But also just finished the USA Gundam Store podcast for this month, Zanzan. Oh, thanks for watching that as well too. It was cool that Adam wanted to do a giveaway. So that was fun, and he said that he plans to do that more often, so just stay tuned for the future live streams there on the USA Gundam TV channel. I guess we're going to be doing some more giveaways on there regularly whenever we do those episodes. So those are bi-weekly, so twice a month we do those, so very cool. Don't know if all the feature ones will also be like P-Bandai MG kits or anything like that exciting, but I'm sure it'll still be cool to give some stuff away every time. Brian said, waiting for Trev to get home from the doctors, and then he is starting his PGX finally. Oh, nice. After being in the backlog for a year. Well, you know, it happens. Interestingly, with this kit, look at the torso. The torso is the two main parts, the stomach part, the two vents, and the two shoulder pieces. So like 2, 4, 6, 7 pieces, all very simple torso. Some of the, like the arms and legs and everything are kind of like normal HG builds. Still nothing really too complicated, but the torso especially is pretty basic. Let's see, Joel said, built my first RG Gundam and it's the Unicorn. Nice one. It's a good one to start off with. It's kind of one of the best ones, so kind of anything after that seems like it might be going downhill from there, but not necessarily the case. There's a lot of really great RG kits out there. Would highly recommend the new or the Sazabi or the Tall Geese. The Crossbone, I guess, as well, if you don't mind some small, tiny little pieces. Also, you know, as Crossbones go, it's very gimmick heavy. Dianjo, good to see you again too. I always appreciate the super chat there. So, I'm doing the backlog. Yes, the backlog massacre that you guys know about. So far, it's off to a good start. I've got the 2 Jaken kits, like I said, already built. Reviews will be going up today and tomorrow for those. These 2 are being built today. I'll work on the reviews for these tomorrow. And also, let's see, hang on. Also got the EFSF type, I guess it's EFF type, Zakutu F2 as well, that I added into the queue, and then a handful of the HG Xeon kits that I'll be doing next week. So I'll put up another poll for those here probably, I guess probably tomorrow. I'll put up another poll for you guys to vote on which HG Xeon kit is going to be live built next week. So there you go. There's the torso. Like I said, very simple. But the shoulder joints move, so that's good. I mean, if they were just like fixed shoulder pegs like they're just like fixed, sticking out, static, not able to move, that'd be ultimately basic, but at least it's got like a little movement there for the shoulders. When's the 2020 best and worst Gunpla video coming out? Weeaboo Scum, I'm working on that as well too, so like I said in the live stream yesterday, hoping to have that out by the end of the week. We had yesterday a new episode of Gunpla Critique, so check that out later if you missed that. And then I'll be live streaming again this same time tomorrow with Josh for a new episode of Plamono Trend. Check that out as well too. And then I think that'll probably be it for live streaming this week. Maybe I'll live stream again on Friday, building the Machine Krieger Dachshund, but kind of depends on how other stuff goes today and tomorrow. So we'll see how much I get done today and tomorrow, and that will determine how much I need to do on Thursday, and if I can go ahead and live stream building the Dachshund on Friday. We shall see. Anyway, alright, I was kind of skipping around here in the manual to the waist section, which is there. This is one of the older, let's see, no, it's not necessarily like, some of the older HG kits were kind of weird how like have you build like the torso and the head, and then it skips to building the weapons for some reason, before then it moves on to like the legs and waist and arms. The order is strange, or I guess strange compared to what we're used to these days. But in this case, I'm just kind of going willy-nilly, and I felt like building the waist section next, so that's what we're doing here. Don't feel pressured to read everyone's chats if you get behind while building. Well, thank you, Dylan. Dylan's looking out for me today. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. But no, I mean, I do want to keep up with the chat with you guys as much as I can. Yes, of course. Thank you for acknowledging that. Yes, I can't read everything in the chat because I need to look here. I can't look here. It'd be dope if I was like a chameleon. I could point my eyes in different directions. Or maybe just get like a second set of eyes, like on the side of my head. That'd look kind of punk, right? But yeah, of course, just chat-wise, if you guys do have any questions, that you want to ask particularly, just tag me in your comment. That way I can pick it out easier in the chat to make sure that I'll see that. I can't guarantee that I'll answer, because if it's a dumb question, then I'm not going to want to answer it. Just kidding. But let's see. So back skirt. Interestingly, the back skirt looks like it can be separated as well too. So number one, the back skirt moves, which is not necessarily normal for a high grade kit. And aside from that, it looks like it can be clipped apart to be separated, actually, which is kind of interesting. It's certainly not usual for an HG kit. So kind of a shame that that's something we see. It's weird when you see something like on older kits. You're like, oh, that was great. I wonder why they didn't continue doing that. But whatever the reason. Moving back skirt's not necessarily that important, because honestly, like when I usually mention that in my reviews, like when I'm going over the articulation and everything, I'll mention like, oh, the back skirt doesn't move or whatever. But honestly, where is that seal? Hang on. Oh, that one. Honestly, like the back skirt moving, especially on high grade kits, really, I mean, there's very few poses that I can think of where you would really want the back skirt to move, because usually the back skirt is just kind of like hanging there. So I mean, the front skirts, yeah, because the legs need to move up. So the front skirts need to move up, but the legs don't usually move back like that in a way that you would need to get the back skirt armor out of the way, you know what I mean? So movement of the back skirt never really been a big issue for me, honestly. This one, like with the Jagan, is using the sticker decals, no foil stickers, and using a sticker decal for this little crotch V there. It's not great, to be honest. Honestly, a foil sticker would have been better. But there we go. So you got front skirts moving, and those can be clipped apart, and back skirts moving, which can also be clipped apart. And some nice detail, that little part there underneath the back skirt. Right there, that's pretty nice as well too. I wonder if that's going to be getting in the way, because that's like right next to where you need to plug the action base into that, and that looks like it's going to be kind of in the way. Let's see. Maybe not that much. It's kind of fine. Yeah, it's alright. It's fine. It's not really actually in the way of anything. Alright, I did see a couple people did tag me with some questions there in the chat. Let me get back to that here real quick. Zanzan said also, thanks for replying to me on Instagram. I really appreciate that. Hope we can talk more in the future. Yeah, no problem. I mean, I reply to everyone on Instagram, unless it's like a really ridiculous comment or something that, I mean, is completely out of bounds, or I mean, something totally weird, or if it's in a language that I don't understand, then I might not reply, or I might tell you, or I might ask you to put in English please or something like that. But I generally reply to everyone on Instagram, so yeah, anytime, just hit me up. Do you have your own order to building the different sections of a kit? Luke Kim, I mean, not really. I like to build it so that the section that I build I can then actually put on the kit. So like, for example, I might not necessarily want to build the arms first and then just like have them floating. I like to kind of start with the torso, and then as I build the limbs I can stick the limbs onto the kit, I guess, probably. But I mean, generally not really. I mean, for HG kits, it's usually kind of how I would go about doing it. For MG kits, I usually just follow the manual, generally. But it just depends on the kit. But usually I like to do it like that. So I kind of don't like that about RG kits, how RG kits usually have you start off building the legs first, like the feet first. So it's kind of cool, you know, like the thought of like building the kit from the ground up. But I find it kind of annoying to have the legs built up first and then not have anything to attach them onto. My unicorn's arm joins keeps popping out. Do you have any tips to tighten it, Joel? Which unicorn kit are you talking about? Would be my first question. Alright, let's see. M and M. Let's see. Is this HG or MG? A duck. There is unfortunately no MG of this kit, so this is definitely the HG version, as you can tell. It's pretty small. There, I know. Alright. And I just seen, I don't remember who it was on Twitter, because I'm terrible at actually remembering Twitter handles. I recognize I recognize people's Twitter icon, but can never remember names. But anyway, I saw a Japanese builder on Twitter recently working on one of these, and like working on adjusting the proportions and stuff, details and things like that, and it was looking really nice. So if I can remember that, or if I find it again, I'll try to like put a link to that maybe in the review video for this kit or something like that, so you guys can check that out as well too. It was really nice, the work he was doing on this. Is that supposed to go in there more or what? There you go. Or if you guys know what I'm talking about, shout it out, tag me in the chat there now so I can know and I can post it later. Sorry for the double tag, or oh sorry, Omoragno. The tags don't show up the same for my Instagram or for my Twitch feed there, so sorry if I missed that. He said, I'm just putting the Great Mazinger Infinitism together. What do you think about those Infinitism kits? I'm not really that into them. I mean, Mazinger is not something I'm just super into. I enjoyed the mega size build, the giant one that I built. That was fun just because of the size of it, but I'm not really super interested in the kits in general, so I probably won't be building any more of them necessarily. I mean, some of the designs are pretty crazy, but just not really for me. Is that supposed to slot into there? Yeah, I guess like that. There we go. There's a pretty cool ankle armor. Did they ever make a weapons pack for the Gushin remake? I mean, there was that weapons set that had like the different melee weapons for, I think, like basically for the Gushin remake, right? Yeah, wasn't there? What do you do when you have Burnout? Scarlet Rain. I don't really get Burnout. Sorry to say. I know that's not a helpful answer. But it just doesn't really, I just never really feel that. But I mean, I suppose if I were to get Burnout, I would say, you know, just do something else. You know, a lot of times I would imagine your Burnout probably comes from just working on a project that you kind of lose steam on. And that does happen to me, definitely. Like the Master Grade Wing, Verka, the new kits, I got it painted up real quick, and now it's just kind of like sitting there. I need to finish that, and I need to like just basically start on the panel lining and stuff on that. So I'm planning to do that, hopefully maybe on Thursday. Work on the panel lining on that and start on the decals and stuff, and that should be done in pretty short order. But my point is that, yeah, I just kind of lost a little bit of steam while working on that, and so I just kind of put it to the side and I'm just working on other stuff. So I mean, not everyone, I understand, you know, has the luxury to have a lot of kits to work on. Some people, you know, can only afford to buy, you know, one kit a month or even less than that or something, whatever the case might be, especially if you're young, you don't have a job, you're just a student or whatever. Maybe you don't have money to have a lot of kits, so like maybe the couple of kits that you have are like all you have to work with, in which case, you know, it's not easy to say just work on something else if you don't have anything else to work on. But it's also helpful, I think, the fact that I also just doing YouTube as well too. So like, if I don't necessarily feel like building something one day, I can just work on videos, or if I don't want to work on any videos on that particular day, I just want to just do some building, I can do that as well too. So I'm fortunate in that I have the ability, or like I have the means to be able to just kind of choose what exactly I want to do on that day. And I think that probably helps with Burnout a lot, I would imagine. So I know maybe not the most useful answer to that question, but hopefully that helps in some way. Just do something different for a while and come back to the project. I mean, this is a hobby, right? There's no obligation for you to ever necessarily finish a project. If you put a project aside and you don't touch it for like years, no one's gonna like. It's your thing. So I mean, you're not losing anything. No one's gonna be breathing down your neck to finish that, unless it was like unless you're a YouTuber like me and you start a HG Tristan and then don't ever go back to it for a long time, and then people hound you for long enough that you finally get around to finishing it. That can be the case, as was the case for me. Which is honestly probably one of the reasons why I was kind of slow to start another Trash to Treasure series. Number one, it was just that I didn't really feel super excited about doing another one. I mean, the Tristan I was keen for, and then just kind of got just kind of a little bit dismayed with the project and wanted to put it aside. So I think it's probably a combination of, number one, I haven't had like I haven't been super inspired or motivated to work on another series, and I suppose probably like subconsciously too, there's a little bit of that. Like I don't want to, if I do start it and then like set it to the side, I don't want to have to deal with people hounding me about it all the time again. So I assume that was probably part of it, but not too much, because honestly I don't worry about that all that much. About you guys bothering me about finishing projects or something like that. I'm kind of fine, you know, working at my own pace, but I suppose like realistically probably there was a little bit of that in there, I guess. Planning to build the new SD, new, and Sazabi. Don't know if you buy and build SDs. I do occasionally, you know, review SD kits, but I don't plan on getting those because they're in the SD EX line, which is just pretty crap, as we all know. So, I mean, honestly, in my opinion, the good thing about the SD EX line, SDX standard line, is that the kits are very cheap. And so they make really good material for kit bashes. So like if you're doing like a project like I'm doing with the SD Zaku head on the RE100 Zaku FZ, you guys saw a work in progress video for the other day. Having a super cheap SD kit to use for something like that, like the SDX standard line, is good, because then, you know, you're not spending too much for the SD kit and then cannibalizing it to basically only use the head or whatever. So if you wanted to do like a SD kit bash with like the HG Sazabi or the HG new kit, you wanted to kit bash that and give it like the big SD head, you could take that from the EX standard kit, which I don't know the prices of offhand, but say for example the X standard kit is $10 versus the like SD BB kit is probably like $20 or something like that, for example. So there you go. Hey, what's going on, Alex? Yeah. Women power? What's that? What are you doing in the... Oh, it's manpower. Sorry, what am I doing? Are you planning... Okay, saw that. Tate said, are you still planning a Trash to Treasure series on the HGUC EX XS Gundam? Yeah, not necessarily Trash to Treasure, but I am still planning on working on the XS at someday. Yeah, what I wanted to do with that was putting the frame arms, architect frame, into that HGUC kit was my plan. And yeah, I do still want to do that at some point. Alex, your pipes are frozen. Yeah, that's happening, isn't it, these days? We had that here at the shop over the weekend, I think. And would you do another kit like the resin burning Gundam build you did? Atlas Gundam there on Twitch. Yeah, I am planning on starting another resin kit here probably sometime relatively soon. Maybe resin Kshatriya or something. Yeah, no, not necessarily that big. I don't plan on doing anything like that. But either a resin conversion kit, or I have another resin kit over there that I've actually kind of started on. It's a full kit of the full armor Gundam, and it's already kind of mostly pinned. There's a few parts left, like the shoulder armor and the waist armor, that I still need to work on pinning on that, but it's mostly all pinned. So like basically I just need to just work on a little bit more cleanup on that before I can get started on painting that. So I might just finish that before I like take out another conversion kit and start working on that instead. We'll see. Boom Cannon said, speaking of SD designs, are there any designs that you wish were scale. Yeah, plenty. I mean, we've talked about that before. Like having like basically a master grade SD kit where instead of like this big, it's like this big, bigger, and has like a full inner frame and everything. I think that would be great. I mean, like I'm not that into SD stuff, but I think as far as kits go, that would be really cool, and Bandai would just kill it. I think that would be super successful. I think people would be all for that. So I really don't know why they haven't done that yet. I hope that they will someday. I think probably at some point they eventually will make something like that, but it is surprising that they never have thus far. Let's see, Robert said, do you think there will be an MG Exia 2.0? I don't know about that. I think it's possible. I'm not sure if I would put money on it at this point, but I think it is very possible that there could be a 2.0 Exia kit. Yes, but yeah, I don't know. Do you have any hype for the MG Testament Gundam coming out? It's already out, I believe, or is it just out? I'm pretty sure I've seen people building it in Japan already. Already have built it. No, I mean, it looks cool, but I'm not planning on getting it. I did, however, just get in yesterday the P-Bandai MG Blaze Zaku Phantom and the Toads Ritter here. There you go. Toads Ritter as well, so I'll be reviewing those probably next week, among the many other reviews that I'm working on. But yeah, I want to get to those sooner than later, so those both look really awesome. The Blaze Zaku Phantom, should be a pretty quick build, because I've already basically built the kit twice already, with the Gunner Zaku Warrior and the Slash Zaku Warrior. Slash, is that right? Suddenly that name is not sounding right. Speaking of kitbash, do you have you ever checked Bandai's Star Wars line? Thinking of I think it got Greebly's potential, especially the ATSD. Yeah, cause the Y-wing fighter kit that I've got here, I basically bought this for the Greeblies, and the reason I got it actually is because I had a coupon for Bandai, or for the Gundam base here in Korea, and it was like 40% off or something like that, and I went to the store and couldn't find any Gunpla that I really wanted, so I ended up getting this, and I thought, I'll just get this and basically just use it for the Greeblies. So I need to actually build this and review it, so then I can chop it up and cannibalize it for Greeblies. And I'm thinking about, actually I need some Greeblies for working on the PG, so I might do that. Actually, might build that kit very soon. It's been on my shelf for ages, so I need to get around to that. I'm going to buy the Fenichi Renashita for $50. Is that a good price for it? It's Migu, yeah, for the MG for $50, the Fenichi Renashita, that sounds about right, yeah. I mean, if you could get it for less, it would be nice, but that sounds probably about right. Are you excited or wary for the upcoming P-Bandai MG Mark V? I mean, very excited, not wary at all. I mean, it sucks that it's P-Bandai, and hopefully I can get it when it comes up for the P-Bandai pre-order here in Korea. Hopefully it's not immediately all bought up by all the scalpers, but fingers crossed I can get my hands on one. And Josh asked me to get one for him as well too, so hopefully I can get the pre-order in for that. Alex, if you're still watching, help me out by also keeping an eye out on that. If you see that come up for pre-order, let me know. But yeah, I'm excited for that. I think it's going to be a great kit based on what we've seen of it. I mean, so no, not worried about that at all. If you mean like worried in the sense of like worried about it being like a stable kit or something like that, I mean, if that's what you mean, then no, I'm not worried at all. All right, let's continue on here with this guy. Got a seal there for the head camera. This one, ouch, which one is that? Key on the front and Ka on the back. Wait. Do you have a favorite MS design? And if you'd mind explaining why. I don't really. I don't. I mean, there's so many great ones. How could I choose? And why would you choose? Why limit yourself? Why limit your love to just one robot lady when you can love them all? There you go. I gotta say, I've never really been a fan of this head design, but like actually building it and like having it in my hand, I do kind of like it a little bit better actually now that I've actually had it in hand. I mean, just in general, I don't really like necessarily the design, and I think I definitely like this design better than I think it's the gun cannon mass production type is a similar type head, right? And I don't like the look of that one because it's got like the bigger visor. It just looks kind of dopier. This one I think looks a little bit better because it's based off of the Gym Custom head, which is a sharper, cooler head, just design in general. What Universal Century MS would you like to see get the master grade treatment? The answer that I've been going to for that question recently kind of has been, or my immediate answer has been the Rosen Zulu. Would love a 100 scale version of the Rosen Zulu. If it was RE100, I wouldn't mind, because the master grade would be very expensive. So I mean, in order to mitigate the cost a bit, I wouldn't mind them just making it a RE100 kit, to be honest. But the RE100 line seems to be a little bit dead in the water at the moment, so that may not be very likely either. So I don't know. If they were to make 100 scale version of that, though, I'd be very excited. Yeah, that's the first thing that comes to mind, but I'm sure there's a lot of cool stuff HGUC that would make for great master grades. Of course, anything else like Nemo from Gundam Sentinel would be awesome as well too. Nero, sorry, Nemo. We have an image of Nemo. Nero from Gundam Sentinel, because we're getting the Mark V, so having a 100 scale Nero would be nice as well. But that one as well too, I think probably would have been great for the RE100 line, because you guys know how kind of recently, well, up until more recently, but for the RE100 kits, they were basically having them like, they were all coinciding with like a master grade release at the same time. So like, what was it? For example, we had the F91, or yeah, the F91 2.0, no. Sorry, what was it? Yeah, the F91 2.0 came out at the same time as the Vignagina. Sorry, there you go. Losing it there for a second. Yeah, the Vignagina RE kit. So they were doing that, like pairing a new master grade release with a new RE100 release, like the what was the other one? The most notably the Hainu, the master grade Hainu came out around the same time as the RE100 Nightingale. So with those examples in mind, when they released the master grade Mark V to also put out an RE100 Nero kit, seems like it would have been a good idea, but unfortunately I'm not in a position to make those calls at Bandai. But that's what I would have advised them doing to keep up that trend, because it was a cool trend to do the releases like that, and a perfect opportunity to do that with a cool grunt suit. The Nero, I mean, obviously the Nero is not super well known, not that maybe necessarily that popular, but I think as an RE100 kit, it would have done fine. I mean, I'd say it's just as popular as, you know, the Gun Easy. Less screen time, I guess, but I'm sure it's in a popularity contest, the Gun Easy and the Nero, I mean, wouldn't be too much of a difference between them. So there's our arm, which unfortunately feels a little bit weak, especially here, where the arm plugs into the shoulder there. It doesn't feel that strong. I feel like you rotate that around a couple times and it's starting to come loose. But let's see. I think during that rant, I missed a couple of questions here. Will you paint your Gym Cannon 2 in Titans colors? No plans to paint this anytime soon. And even when I do, I doubt that it would be in Titans colors. Do you know clay brands you would recommend for scratch building cloth? I want to get into sculpting cloth for Megami device. No, offhand, I don't really know, but I think what I've seen a lot of people do is just using epoxy putty. So just like some Tamiya epoxy putty. That's what you could use for that. Comical Nerd U, kind of just roll out your epoxy putty just into like a cloth basically, and let it kind of like half dry so that it's more malleable but still like holds the shape. And you can just like work with it like that. Who was that? I think Aaron did put out like a mini tutorial about that. Or no, he used like foam for his. What was that? Anyway, I'd seen someone do like just a little quick video on how to make cloth with epoxy putty. But yeah, you can do that. All right. Ever consider building the HG Twin Lotto set? No, I've never really considered that too much. I mean, maybe I will someday, but don't necessarily have any plans to. Oops, and that's the wrong hand part there. Got a lot of hand options with this kit, fortunately, or more than some. Oh, that's for that. So we got here for this side, open hand, trigger finger hand, a hand here that I didn't remove the nubs on. Does the MG Reneshita actually have trouble standing? I don't think so, not really. But it also comes with a base, so you don't really need to worry too much about it. Even if you want to just have it standing, you can use the base just to have it support the Gundam more in just a standing position. So there we go. Uh-oh, that's not right. Let's put this on here first, so then we get out the rest of the hand parts, because there was a couple of hand parts too that were like among the leftover parts not used for this kit as well. I think I may have got them kind of mixed in there. How hard would it be to convert the MG Reneshita into the regular Finiche kit? I mean, it would take some work, yeah. Is it hard to be honest about a kit being really bad? Do you try to be positive on here? No, Eric, that's a good question. I mean, no, it's not hard. Because I really believe that there are not like any really bad kits. Even a couple of like the worst kits that I've reviewed that like come to mind, like the Tristan, the Scramble Gundam. These were kits that I didn't think were good by any means. And what I mean by that is that they're just not good compared to what I know Bandai has the ability to do. That doesn't mean that the kits are worthless by any means. So that's kind of like, that's the thing. I think when you see reviewers like talking about how bad kits are, then people get the idea that the kits are, that you should just avoid the kits. But I don't ever want to give people the impression that they should not buy the kit if they like it. If you like the design, then no bad reviews should ever hold you back from buying a kit that you like the design of. If you like the design, then you should go for it. Because I mean, even if it's not that great of a kit, you know, you can always make it better, or you can always just enjoy it as it is. I mean, maybe it's not able to do a certain pose very well, or it's got kind of a weak joint here and there or something. Like, these are things that are not that difficult to fix, and like that's kind of a part of being a modeler. If you're not wanting to, you know, if you're not wanting to bother with fixing something, then there's always the option of just getting action figures as well too. Robot Damashi is also existing. I mean, I would always encourage people to, you know, if you enjoy the model building aspect of it, then to just work on, you know, fixing stuff by yourself just through modeling skills. But, you know, if that's not something that you're interested in, which is fine as well too, then Robot Damacy exists also. So it's not necessarily that I'm trying to be positive in the reviews, and that's why I don't usually often give kits bad reviews, even if it's a kind of substandard kit, like not as good compared to other things that Bandai has made. It's, yeah, I mean, even the slightly disappointing kits are not bad by any means. So if that makes sense. Yeah, bad kits can be a little bit of a bigger challenge, but I mean, ultimately, still, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, having to tighten a joint or something like that is not, it's not that big a deal, in my estimation. And usually that's kind of like the biggest problem. I mean, with any Bandai Gundam kit, the quality of them in general is so good. Like, let's take another one that also got a lot of bad reviews, including me. I didn't necessarily really like the kit, was the RG Shinanju. But I mean, ultimately, what was the problem with the kit really is just kind of loose in some places. I mean, so the only real problem with the kit was just if you're building it straight out of the box and not willing to put a couple of drops of glue on it. But if you're just willing to just use a little bit of glue, there's nothing wrong with the kit. It's fine. So, yeah. Hopefully that answers that for you. But that's what I think about that. So, yeah, I've been accused at times of people have commented on my videos saying that like I don't give kits bad reviews because I'm trying to keep up the sales of them, or that like I don't want to give a kit a bad review because I care, or like that I have to make sure that the kit sells well for USA Gundam Store or whatever. But I can assure you guys that's certainly not the case. If a kit was bad, I would give it, I mean, I'd let you guys know what's bad about it, but usually the case is just that there's nothing wrong with the kit. There might be weak points, but there's no reason to like avoid buying the kit. Anyway. Alright. So there's the body all done. Now I can just move on to the backpack and the weapons. Yeah, I mean, a kit bad for a lazy builder. Yeah, and I mean, I wouldn't even want to say necessarily a lazy builder, because some people, it's just not what they're interested in. Some people want to have a kit of like their favorite mobile suit or whatever, just because they're a fan of the mobile suit. They may not necessarily be so into like the modeling aspects. So that's what I mean. Like I said, some people, if you're not wanting to, if like the modeling is not like that interesting for you, and you're just wanting to have a cool representation of a design that you like say for the MGXia, yeah, I see people, a lot of people online. When you say MGXia, the first thing you get comments about is, oh, the ankles are so weak. It's a weak kit. It needs a 2.0. That's like weak ankles is one. That's like the one thing that's wrong with the kit. I haven't built it yet, so I don't know, for example. But if that's like the one problem with the kit, that seems like a pretty minor issue, in my opinion. But if you are a fan of the Exia and you are not really that into modeling, then, and you were concerned about having to fix that, even though it's a pretty minor fix, then, you know, maybe your better bet would just be to get the, well, perfect grade is an option, but that's more modeling, the Robot Damacy. Roofless on Twitch said, I have to admit, if it isn't Sotheby's quality, I avoid it because I don't model much, only paint. Well, yeah, there you go. That's another thing. That is another option as well, too. You know, wanting to buy the kits and paint them, whatever, and not necessarily wanting to do a lot of like work to fix anything. You just want to be able to get it, paint it, and have it looking nice. Yeah, sure. That's understandable as well. Trying to see in the manual there. has you building the cannons separately here, but they look like once the pieces are together, like the parts are opposite, but once the pieces are together, I think they're going to be basically identical. So I'm not sure if there's going to really be much difference in that. Let's see. This one like that. So excuse me, I need to focus on what I'm doing here to see that carefully. Like that. Okay. And this one. I love gym feet. Roofless, yeah, I love the feet design on this, but not all gym feet, especially these like Katoki style feet, you know, with the pointy toes like that. Yeah, I definitely agree. I definitely prefer that kind of feet. That's why I like the Gundam Verka more than like the other versions. Most versions of the RX-78 have just like kind of the standard dopey, not that cool or interesting looking feet. But the Verka feet definitely look much better because they're in this style. There we go. Gonna get that closed up, and we got these. Here. So when's the next 24 hours? I want to see your progress again from start to finish. Azure Slime King, I don't know. I don't know when I'll be doing that again. If I'll be doing that again anytime here in Korea. Yeah, I don't know. It was fine. Not necessarily in a hurry to do another one. Plus, it's just not good. I mean, like, if I was single and didn't have a family, I'd be more inclined to do it again. But I mean, like, I have to do that on the weekend, so that Alex could come and help. I could do it without Alex, I suppose, but it was a big help having Alex here with me, and he works during the week as well too. So he'd only be able to come on the weekend. So he has to do it on the weekend. The weekend's usually a time when I'm just with my family. So I don't really like taking away from that family time, so I don't like to do that kind of thing on the weekends. It was fine to do it once, it was fun, but I wouldn't necessarily be in a hurry to do another one, mainly because of that. If I didn't have a family, I would be more inclined to do another one. I wouldn't mind about that. Were your kids worried where Daddy went? No, they knew where I was the whole time. They knew. They were fine. They even came by here twice throughout the day, if you guys saw. I don't know what's wrong with the playback of the live stream, guys. I'm sorry. People have commented telling me that they've tried to watch it and it's not working. I don't know why it doesn't work. There was it was reported and taken down at first for seemingly no reason. There was like a claim on it, like a report on it that it was like a scam or something, but obviously there wasn't anything about it that was a scam, so that was weird. So I appealed that block on the video, and then the video got reinstated, but now no one can actually watch it, so I don't know. And there doesn't seem to be anything that I can do as far as like the settings and anything, and like you can't contact YouTube directly. So I posted about that, which is basically all you can do is like post in the forum and hope someone answers you. And so far, I think it hasn't gotten any answer to it, so I don't know. I don't know what I can do about it, really. Maybe tweet at YouTube. Maybe that'll work. clears our shield. And the interesting thing about this version of the shield is that the ammo can store on the inside of that. I'm guessing it's the same for the Gym Custom, of course, but like other versions I think that I've built of this shield, basically the ones that are used for the Advanced Zeta kits, don't have that where you plug the ammo on the backside of that. Or maybe it had that, but just didn't have the ammo. It also has this thing, which is something they used to do for these kits, where you can plug your extra hands when not in use. You can plug them onto this thing. So that's kind of, I guess, like sort of convenient just to have one place to stick them so they're not like all flying around everywhere. This one's gonna loose in there though, but yeah, you can store your hands on this little thing there. Let's see. The shield is the same in those kits most UC kits have. Yeah, Haywood, I thought the shield was the same, but yeah, I just don't remember on the Advanced Zeta kits. Obviously, they don't have the actual ammo cartridges, but I would assume that I would have noticed it having like a hard point for plugging the ammo onto there. And, you know, not having anything to actually plug onto there. But I don't remember ever noticing that. Anyway, there you go. That's everything. I will go ahead and place a few of these stickers on here too while we're here. Just check out where these are supposed to go. There's not really any other guide, is there, as to where the stickers go. So you're just kind of on your own, I guess. All right, well, let's see what we can do here. What number should we use for this? What do you guys think? We got numbers to use on here. What number should we use? Mr. Aftastafta, have you updated your opinion regarding pies and types of pies? I mean, no, not really. I love pie. That's it, basically. I love pie. Mulambo 69. I did 69 on the Jagan, so I don't want to. Or should we just do all 69? But on the Jagan Equus type, I did 187. So maybe do 420 on this one. It is green, so maybe 420 would make sense. Jagan was green too. Should have done them all 420 because even the Equus type is dark green. 420 69. Yeah, why not? Just do it all. The classy 80085. Yeah, that would be a good one too. Maybe we'll do that. Maybe for the EZ8 because it's kind of got the 80085 going on with the like removable chest plate. So maybe for this one, maybe we'll just do the classic 420. What's the K? Someone's saying K179. What's that? I don't even get the reference. Oops. Numbers are crooked. But considering it's 420, maybe it's not that not too off base for that. There. Trying to peel these up and reapply them. Not always easiest. Anyway, these stickers aren't gonna look good anyway. I'm not too worried about it. It's just for the review. There you go. Do we have a white EFSF one on here too? Yeah, we do. Okay, good. Very nice to see a gym. K197, Kakarot 197. Oh, okay, yes, I get the reference, sorry. Yeah, could have done that. Alright, there's for the shield. For the torso here, let's put just the same logo on there. And we have a black EFSF logo, but there's kind of not really. I guess putting it on there maybe would have been good, so I won't use that. And this big EFSF cross I'll put on here as well too, maybe just right here. Like that. Looks pretty good, I suppose. And we'll do another 420 on the chest. If I can get this peeled up. Interestingly, in the small text you have like 1 through 9 and 0, but you have 4 1s and 4 zeros. All the other numbers you have just 1 each. Kind of wondering why they gave so many 1s and 0s. Plenty of options here. There we are. And you have these other ones. I think, what's that Australia logo? Is the Torrington base, right? Torrington, and you have the kangaroo logo as the well too, which is pretty cool. I want to throw that on there, but I hate to do like one logo on each shoulder. It doesn't really make sense. I'm gonna go ahead and put this one here on the front of the cockpit, the top of the cockpit right there. That seems like the EFSF cross should go there. So maybe on the front skirt here. Yeah, also kind of looks kind of dumb to have 2 logos on there. What's that one? That's the Albion logo, right? Alright, so even though it doesn't really matter, it's not like it's a painted build or anything, but I'll leave that off. Throw another cross here on the front of the chest, and we'll call it a day. This one doesn't come with any like generic caution markings or anything, it's all just logos and stuff. There we go. That's a wrap on that guy. Very cool. Yeah, quite nice. Solid. Good. It's definitely got some seam lines on that armor. Plenty of the seam lines to go around. But nice. And let's see, despite it being pretty bulky, the articulation seems pretty good, but also, yeah, the arms feel a little bit weak there, especially that upper arm. All right. Let's move on to the Ez-8. Ez-8 time. Which came out a few years later, but still not necessarily that complicated a kit. You better pose it with one arm off. Merlambo, okay. I'll try to remember to do that. 2.0 Bandai, please. Yeah, 2.0 Ez-8 would be pretty cool. I mean, they could basically do a 2.0 ground Gundam and use that for making 2.0 Ez-8 and 2.0 ground Gym, 2.0 Gym Sniper, etc. need a good stretch in between. Raphael said, will you be painting the Ez-8 with the Goof Custom, just like what you did recently with the 2 Origin kits? I don't plan on it. I don't plan on painting either of these kits anytime soon. Just kind of building them up just so they're taking up less space in the backlog. Like I said, I need to move a lot of this stuff, hopefully, with me to America later towards the end of the year. And I can fit in like one box. If like the kits are brand new, I can fit like 6 HGs in a box. But if they're built, I can fit like 20 in a box. So just trying to get as much built as I can so that I can take as much as I can with me back to the US. Ez-8 or the EZSR. I actually have the EZSR kit as well too, which I need to build. We'll probably build that. Probably maybe won't get to that till maybe next month, but probably next month we'll build the EZSR. I have a couple of build fighters kits. The EZSR, also the HGUC, which has been here on my shelf for ages as well too, that are both in the queue to be built up. So yeah, we'll build those as well as, so like this week I'm kind of doing like EFSF grunt type HG kits, and next week it's Xeon type kits, HGUC kits. But then I have like yeah, I'll have to do a week of like build fighters kits. So I've got those 2 build fighters kits, the EZSR, the HGUC, and then I also have the Zaku F2000. Right, that's right, Zaku F2000. It's not build fighters, but it's in the earlier builders series. So I've also got that one in the backlog as well too. I need to build up, so we'll build that one as well. And I was thinking there was one other one kind of along similar lines. And we'll also do a week of HG00 kits as well too, because I've got the 2 different versions of the HG Tyrion and the 2 different versions of the HGO Gundam that I need to build. So we'll do a week of those builds as well too. Again, in the pretty near future, pretty soon. Let's see. This part is actually not till later. Let's go ahead and get this on here. Depends on what's shipping, like due to lockdown here. Are you excited for the RG Hainu Gundam? Yeah, Fernando, yeah, definitely. Should be very nice. And one thing that's cool about this that I don't remember the MG having this is that like on the chest plate part here on the underside, it's not very easy to see once the part's actually on the kit, but it's got like some vents on like the underside of this white part there, and I don't remember the MG ever having that. So like you can't see it at all from the front, but up underneath there's like some vents up there. So that's kind of interesting. Whilst preparing the kit, I noticed that and I thought, oh, H Saito I even ordered the okay. HG out of excitement. I'm really excited for the HG Nightingale as well too. That's gonna be awesome. Also, I noticed the MG Blaze Zaku Phantom in the back. I spy. Yes, Excellent Sever. Yeah, I was mentioning earlier. I just got that in yesterday. So just got it yesterday. Brought it in here this morning, and hopefully gonna work on that next week. What's your favorite MS in the anime? Brent asked. Yeah, I don't know. Ian Henry, thank you for the super chat. Very appreciate that. Any news on your MG GPO2 or saving that for a surprise? Also, do you enjoy the look of the Ez-8? Comes off as more bland and Americanized to take on Osu. I never really thought of it as Americanized, but I guess now that you say that, I guess I can kind of see that. I mean, I have always liked the design though, yeah. It's more bland, but I think it fits the series totally. So, I mean, that aspect of it has never bothered me. Yeah, I'm a fan of the design. I like it. The GPO2, no, it's not necessarily a secret. I mean, I'll have the first work in progress on that for you guys. I'm hoping to have that maybe next week. X and Sever, yes, the Toes Rooter is here as well too. Also just arrived yesterday. Those came together. But yeah, the GPO2, hopefully next week. I was planning on having the first work in progress video already started for you guys this week, but just kind of stuff's not moving as fast as I expected. So yeah, well, basically what I've been doing with the GPO2 so far is just trying to, like, in my mind, mentally kind of plan out the build. And so yeah, I'm still just kind of thinking about what I want to do, because I have to have a plan for what I want to do with it first, kind of. That'd be good. And so far I've not, you know, I've kind of nailed down my plan basically for what I want to do with it. So it's just now I just need to start doing it. But yeah, a lot of things that I'm trying to work on at the same time, so that's the problem. Oh, missed the pre-order for the Toes Ritter. That's a shame, but I think you could probably rest at ease that I'm pretty sure the Toes Ritter will be reissued at some point, probably sooner than later, because with them doing the what is it, the Pale Rider project, and I still don't really know what that entails, but I think at the very least it means that they're going to be reissuing some of the different Pale Rider kits. So I'm sure they'll probably reissue the Toes Ritter as well too. See, Practical Zaku said, "Hello, I'm building the HGUC GPO2." Also, the HGUC could definitely do with the Trash to Treasure series as well too, because not necessarily, and even the Master Grade kit is not that bad of a kit really, to be honest. It's just has some weak points definitely, and I just want to kind of mess with the design of it. But the HGUC kit definitely is also not a great one, especially in terms of just like the proportions of it. It's got some ugly proportions, the HG. It's very stumpy. I got a big bobblehead. We're working on the legs, not the arms. I was pulling off polycaps for the arms. That's not right. Let's see, 1 and 3 here in the legs. Let's see, Ishmael. Practice said, "Please bring back Trash to Treasure." Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Have no fear, my man. Ishmael said, "Thanks for your amazing videos. A lot of your insight for kits have been really helpful for judging and making a decision on buying." You're welcome. That's what they're there for. So glad to hear it. Any plans for custom paint for this easy? No. No plans for painting this at the moment. And whenever I do get around to painting it, yeah, I'm not sure what I'm going to do, because it's one of those Gundams where like it's hard to imagine it in anything other than like the original colors. I mean, you can tweak the colors a little bit, maybe make the colors like a little bit brighter or a little bit duller or something like that, for example. But I mean, it's hard to imagine like the Ez-8 in like Char's colors, for example. I definitely wouldn't do that, but you know, other Gundam designs, it's easier to do them in like different colors. I mean, I guess something probably, I think what would match with the design of the Ez-8 would be doing something like MSV, like if you did it in like full armor colors or something like that, I think could work. Something along those lines is probably the way you'd have to go with that. PC 7 and 11, I have to imagine that that's a tongue-in-cheek joke, using the 7 and 11 polycaps at the same time. Let's see, Burnstick Man, "Hey, I'm building the Metal Gundam Barbatos and broke one part and I'm sad." Oh, I'm sorry to hear about that. Are you able to get any replacement parts or anything where you're at? I mean, it depends on where you're at and how long you've had the kit, but try Imperial Fist colors. Revan, I don't know what that is. Imperial Fist, sorry. Aren't there no rules to customizing? Yeah, of course. No rules. What state you moving to? Syntax moving to Florida to work there at USA Gundam Store. see. It's a 40k Space Marines Legion. Okay, sorry, I don't know anything about 40k. It's not my expertise. PC 14 and 9. Interesting use of the Polycap 9 there. Usually it's used like for thruster bells, but we're actually using it for attaching on the like back ankle armor. Pale Rider is a cool kit. Yeah, I am actually will be reviewing a Pale Rider kit probably towards the end of this week or beginning of next week as well too. It's another thing that I'm building. I started building it last night. It's the Expo extra finish version of the heavy ground type. Yes. There's that, PC 1 and 10. Yes. Indeed. Twitch chat demands equal attention. Sorry. Alright. I can see you, Twitch chat. What's up with you? Like I said, the problem is just that the Twitch chat doesn't show when you guys tag me in the chat, it doesn't show up highlighted in my feed there like the YouTube one does. How do competitions work? Anything changed due to COVID? Competitions? Like Gunpla competitions? As far as anything that I've seen, nothing's really changed much. I mean, there's competitions going on throughout the community. Wait, it doesn't turn red for you? Are you reading us on PC? Gurv Kebab, what I've got open there is the, it's on, oh, hang on. It's on Restream, and it's showing the YouTube and Twitch chats together. And I have the YouTube chat open separately. I guess I should just open the Twitch chat separately. I guess would be the logical thing to do, I suppose. But yeah, I've got one window there with the YouTube chat only, and one with the both chats together. And yeah, the together one, because the together one shows Facebook as well. Oh no. Oh, okay, good. I thought I forgot to put that part in, but actually just snaps into place. That's good. So otherwise, I'd have to have 3 windows open. Anyway. Didn't know we on Twitch too. Yes, Neko yourself, you're on Twitch too. No reason why you have to be there for GBWC. Florida man builds a full-scale mobile suit. Yes, I'm looking forward to the Florida man headlines. I got the Ez-8 on my backlog and gonna build it soon. Raphael said I saw that it uses stickers to lock the parachute straps. Any suggestions what to replace the stickers as lock? I'm not sure. I'm not to that part of the build yet, so hang tight. Once we get to building that part, I can maybe give a better suggestion, but hang on for the time being. Yeah, that back ankle armor seems like that's going to be coming off pretty easily on there. Alright, where were we? So 3 and 1. Lots of polycaps here. Kind of really slows down the whole building process. Thanks for this live. Have a good day or night. Hugs from Brazil. Fernando, you're welcome. And thank you. It is morning here. For a little bit yet. It's 10:48, so still for the next hour or so. I know someone who straight up glued it down. I've left it off entirely from a kit bash. It glued down the ink armor. Yeah, I mean, I could see gluing that just to make sure it doesn't go anywhere. There you go. Let's see. 11 and 7. Did they ever release an upgrade of the Ez-8 like they did with the Ground Gundam? No, because the Ez-8 kit kind of came out in between. So yeah, the original HGUC Ground Gundam, and then later kind of like the non-revive version, but the revive version of the Ground Gundam. The Ez-8 came out in between that time, so it's not as old as the original Ground Gundam. It's not as nice and new as the new version of the Ground Gundam though either, but it's kind of in between. As far as I can tell, just building the kit so far, seems perfectly fine though. Doesn't seem like a bad kit by any means. So I don't necessarily think that it really needs a revive version or whatever in this case. Because there's, I mean, to make a new version of this, which would like be comparable to the updated Ground Gundam, it wouldn't be that different, to be honest, from what it already is here. So I think it's probably fine. Oops, I forgot a polycap there. Oh, darn. PC 10, right? Yeah. Supposed to be working on a custom build for an art project, but I'm up over my head and now I'm stuck. Any tips? Oh, yes, that's not a good place to be. But especially if it's something that you're supposed to be working on for like a project as well too. You can't just set it aside. So, I mean, I guess what I would advise you to do would be to try to just power through the part that's giving you trouble of the build. You know, and just try as quick as possible, just try to make your way onto a part of the build that is not giving you so much trouble, that you're maybe more excited about or having a better time doing. I don't know if I'm going to get this together without taking this entirely apart, which I didn't want to do because it's kind of tight. And of course, as usual, I forgot to bring my part separator over here. You said you were gonna move to Florida to work for USA Gundam Store, and what will you be doing there? Zanzan, the same thing, basically. I assume I'll probably also take on some other responsibilities as well too, once I'm actually like on site, but I'll be doing the same thing. Also, kind of doing some more with the USA Gundam TV channel as well too. Because like from a distance, there's not a whole lot that I can do to help with that channel at the moment, but there's more stuff that I can do actually like on site. And completely pop that apart, and no broken pegs. Haha. It was very tight though. This is kind of worried. Does that mean you will be doing more giveaways at USA Gundam Store? More giveaways? I mean, like Adam said, we'll be doing more giveaways just in the live streams there for now. But I mean, like once I'm there, working there, I mean, doing more giveaways. I don't know necessarily. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure we'll still be doing some, but more compared to now, I don't know. Maybe I don't know. It's not something that I've really given too much thought about to that aspect of it, but it's certainly possible. Let's see. Watching him struggle to separate parts hits too close to home. Yes, everyone knows the feeling. Knee joint here. Is 2018 Ground Gundam worth it? Cause I already got the Ground Gym. Yeah, the 2018 Ground Gundam is a really nice kit. Let's see. And I know it's expensive because it's a P-Bandai kit, but the parachute pack version of the HG Ground Gundam really is probably the best version because you get the most stuff in there. So like if you really wanted a set that like kind of comes with kind of everything, then that's probably the one that I would recommend. But like I said, it's P-Bandai, so it's going to be more expensive. So just kind of have to, depends on how much it's really worth it for you to have everything that you want to have in the kit. But it's certainly got kind of everything in there. All the different weapons, you got the gym head and the parachute pack, of course. Different from the parachute pack that's included with this one, but they are compatible. I have metal pegs and drills ready for the snap, Ruthless. Nothing snapped. Nothing broke. What's up on Gunpla VTubers? Someone said, what's a VTuber? It's like a vlogger? Oh, what's that? What's this? Eric Walker. Hello there, Zacharylius, the big famous cutie patooties and chat. Hi to lads. Hello. Will there be much of a weather change for you to move to the US or similar climates? Fossil also asked on Twitch. It will be different. Here in Korea, it's basically similar to like kind of Midwest weather. We've got 4 seasons: hot, humid in the summer, cold, dry in the winter, snow. Yeah, Florida, I mean, as you guys may know, is just hot all year round, which I'm looking forward to. I don't like winter. I don't like cold weather, so yes. And Steve Fossil said they're like idol YouTubers using digital faces of anime characters. Okay, that's odd. VTuber, streamer with an anime avatar. Ah, that's weird. Not something that I'm interested in. Do you listen to Degent? Lorenz, basically just Tesseract. That's kind of the only Degent band that I know, but I do like them a lot. Yeah, especially like 7, 8. I think I first started listening to them, I think like basically while I was in Japan, which would be like 2012, 2013, and listened to them a lot at that time, but I still listen to them. Yeah, these days as well too. Will you buy the 1/10 auto transformable unicorn that bust? I'm thinking about that. Fossil parrot, humid, hot, great weather for a cool drink. Yeah, and I'll be working in the air conditioning all day long anyway, so but yeah, I do enjoy the hot weather. Especially, I enjoy hot weather at night when like it's nice. You can go outside. It's a little bit cooler because it's dark. Outside is night. You go outside, have a couple of beers, a couple of soda pops. It's very nice. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to enjoying that hot weather outside. And, even during the day too. I don't mind sweating. The thing about like sweating is if I don't have anything to do, I don't mind it at all. Like if I need to like, if I was going to a job where like I have to wear, when I worked in Japan, I had to wear a shirt and tie every day. So I would hate when it was hot to have to go anywhere in my shirt and tie. But if I'm like not doing anything or like just playing with my kids outside or something like that, I don't mind at all just being sweaty. It doesn't bother me. So, you know, we're just hanging out or having a cookout outside or something, playing outside, whatever, doesn't bother me. Hot weather. Hey, anyways, I'll have a great stream. Thank you. GGGG. How am I supposed to read that, by the way? Just a bunch of G's. As someone who loves winter, I take offense to your words and challenge you to a Gunpla battle. Dianjo, thank you again for the super chat. And sorry to go against your love of winter, but yeah, I just don't like it. What's to like about it? Going outside sucks in the winter. And staying inside, I mean, you have to like blast the heater, and then if you do have to go outside, it's like not good for your body to have like this massive shock of being like with the heater blasting hot air on you all day long, and you go outside and it's like immediately super cold. It's not good for you. And I guess you could say the same thing about like if you're working in the aircon, but I also don't like in the summertime just like being blasted with the aircon either. Sushi would ask, what was your job in Japan? I was an English teacher, naturally, in Japan, as most gaijin are who are there. 10 and 5. Winter sucks. Someone said winter is the best. A lot of Korean people really like winter, and I think it's because they like wearing more clothes. A lot of people here really like fashion and stuff, so like the winter gives them the ability to wear more clothes and also not worry so much about their weight, whatever. Like in the summer, I'm sure like anywhere, people are just more stressed about wanting to diet, whatever. Now they are wearing less clothes, they're more worried about their image. But in the winter, it's much easier to just hide your body with more clothes, right? So everyone's feeling more comfortable. It's a good opportunity to you know, wear more clothes, show off some more fashion. Oh no, I put that part on there backwards. Shit. Any interest in building the Evangelion Kai Unit 8 Gamma? I don't think I'm gonna build that one, Shuri. I built 3 RG Ava kits so far, and that's kind of enough for me. They're kind of just all the same. They're great kits, but I don't really like that one either. That Evangelion design has never really appealed to me. I think they are also making the 04, right? The black one. I might build that one because that's really cool. But the pink one, no, I'm not really interested. I don't really like the weird spiky head with like spider eyes and stuff on and stuff. It's just, I don't like the design of it. It's ugly in my opinion. Just ordered the HGUC Hazel 2 from a new store in Australia. Your review sold me on it, to be honest. Love the proportions. Yeah, the fossil parrot. Yeah, the HGUC Hazel kits especially are really nice. I mean, especially for the price too. They're quite cheap. The proportions, the details are good. The only downside is that they are pretty seam line heavy. But aside from that, I mean, they take a lot of detail painting just because the advanced Zeta designs tend to have a lot of little color apps and stuff that's hard to reproduce as an HG kit. The MG kits are better, but obviously there's very few of them to choose from, and they're all P-Bandai. Let's see. Would you start off with spray cans as a beginner? I want to start painting, but I feel you waste so much paint with spray cans. Doug, that is a great question, and you're right. You do waste a lot of paint and money with spray cans, because spray cans, you know, you think like an airbrush compressor, that's expensive, and airbrush and everything. It's expensive at first, but in the long run, spray cans are gonna cost you a lot more money in the long run, because yeah, you waste a lot of paint. One can, it's like $5, $6, $7, if not more, depending on the brand or whatever you got available to you. Even in Japan, they're like $5, $6 a can. So yeah, and you're gonna need, you know, at least 3, 4 of them for a build. But bottles of paint just to use with an airbrush are much cheaper in comparison for like what you get out of them. So yeah, I mean, starting off with spray cans as a beginner, I think, you know, that said, it's not a bad option just to get a feel for painting in general. So maybe do like 1 or 2 with a spray can just to get the hang of it. And you can certainly get like fine results with a spray can as well too. That's how I started and how a lot of people started. But I was certainly really glad when I made the switch to airbrush. It's intimidating at first because, you know, it seems complicated and like not comfortable, and it's an investment. It costs money, so you're not really sure you want to spend the money for an airbrush and like end up having problems with it, or end up not finding it as easy as you may have expected or something. But I promise you, it's easier than you expect, and the earlier you move on to airbrushing, the happier you're gonna be. You're gonna be saying to yourself, why didn't I do this earlier? That seems to be the general consensus of everyone that I talk to, who like once they start airbrushing, they're just wondering why they didn't make the change earlier on. So I mean, doing a couple of kits by spray can, maybe not too bad, just to get a feel for it. But I would recommend moving to using an airbrush sooner than later if it's something that you think you're going to want to be doing for any length of time, like painting Gunpla, I mean, or just model kits in general. If you're like just starting out in the hobby and you're not sure if it's really for you, then, you know, maybe you don't need to be in a rush. Let's see, and also, what about the markers, like the metallic color set? Is it similar to spray cans and what you get out of them? I wouldn't really recommend using markers at all, really, for painting anything. Even like the system they have, that Bandai came out with like a airbrush that sprays the Gundam marker paint, I just really wouldn't bother with that. You can use markers to some success for like painting little small details and stuff, especially if you just let the paint out of the marker and then just use a brush. But at that point, like, why not just use some enamel paints basically and a brush? So that's why I've never really advocated for Gundam markers, or like paint markers in general, being of much use. I mean, I've seen people use them, especially the weathering markers. I've seen a lot of people have, you know, who can get really good results with the weathering markers, so like the real touch markers for weathering. I've never tried it, but I've seen people use them with great success. So that's one thing. But like, as far as like just the paint markers go, I would just not bother with it, to be honest. You just paint like in the normal ways, or if you're only worried about just doing a little detail painting and stuff, just use enamel paints instead. Just regular little jars of Tamiya enamel. Chris Bullis, you're late. It's all right, Chris. Thank you. Greg said the markers are terrible. Yeah, I mean, I've been there. We've all been there. I'm sure there's a lot of us who have tried using the Gundam markers and thought we could make it work, but it's just, you just can't. They're just not for that. Especially like painting full parts or something. Like if you wanted to paint this entire shoulder armor and like in red or something like that using a Gundam marker, there's just no way you're gonna do that and make it look good. So there's the body all done. This kit, or let's see, sorry, hang on, I missed that. This kit Mike Wazowski said, or the 2018 ground type, planning to wrap the 8th MS team on my shelf. Well, Mike, I would recommend getting both. Not that expensive. I mean, and if you want to rep the 8th MS team on your shelf, I would say get the 2018 ground type Gundam, get this, and get the Goof Custom. All fantastic kits. If you like the ground gym as well too, if you want to have some gym representation in there, the ground gym also good. And between the Ez-8 and the ground Gundam too, the weapons and stuff are compatible also. So I mean, you could mix and match the backpack or whatever. If you wanted to give the parachute pack from this kit to the ground Gundam, you could do that. So I would say to go that route. If you don't want to spend that much money though, and you can only get one, then maybe the ground Gundam. But this one's certainly not bad by any means. Why is Gundam Marker bad though? Haywood asking. Basically, the way that you have to apply a Gundam Marker doesn't really allow you to thin the paint. It's just paint in a marker, right? So when you're applying paint to a larger surface, the reason why we use any kind of thinner or water or whatever, depending, whatever agent you're using to thin the paint, depending on what type of paint you're using, we thin it so that you're not just putting paint on there, because just paint by itself is too thick. And when you're putting that on there, however you're applying it, by brush or whatever, you're going to see brush strokes, and it's just not going to look good. Or if you're applying it by marker, you're seeing like kind of marker strokes, I guess, for lack of a better word, texture, which just doesn't look good, and it's very visible. I mean, you can see people doing that around on Facebook or something sometimes. If you see people's work and like the paint has like a weird looking texture to it, then it's probably they painted it with a Gundam marker, or they painted it with the brush, and the paint was not thin. So that's why you'll see people really hounding on the fact that you need to thin your paints. And with the paint, if you're using the marker directly on the plastic, there's no way to add any thinner to that. You could, I suppose, with an airbrush, then spray thinner onto it, and that could maybe help to flatten out the paint like after the fact, once you got the paint all applied on there, and then spray some thinner onto it. That might like work to a degree, but that's a pretty extreme way to go about it. You wouldn't really, there's not really too much point to doing it like that. And Deanja, thank you again for the super chat. Any suggestions for airbrushes in terms of brands? Yes, I used an Iwata airbrush for a long time, and I enjoyed that. That's actually what I'm back to using that now for the moment, because I need to fix my Sparmax one. But then I was also using the one I got from Sparmax as well too. It was also good. So both of those I've enjoyed a lot. There's a lot of other brands out there though, so it's hard to say, hard to give my opinion about other brands, but I'm sure like the Mr. Hobby ones are also good. And they have like their high-end line as well too. I think it's like the what's it, Spray Boy? I forget the name of that exactly. Something like that. Something with boy in the name. Those are supposed to be really nice as well too. As far as just like the airbrush goes, I wouldn't necessarily recommend just getting like the dirt cheapest thing you can find, because more than likely you're gonna find that it's gonna break sooner. So if you buy an airbrush for 15 bucks, think, wow, that's great, and it only lasts you like 6 months, you're gonna have to buy another one sooner anyway. Or like, for example, the Iwata one I've been using for years and not have any problems with, so I've not had to spend any more money to buy another one. So something to consider there. But yeah, I can at least just speak to Iwata and Airmax and Sparmax being good. And actually Sparmax owns Iwata now, so it's all kind of the same basically. Yeah. In terms of like the quality, the design is slightly different, but All right. Get these weapons built up, and then we'll move on to the backpack. Hey Zach, I've got Mr. Color, Leveling Thinner, and Mr. Surfacer. I hear you should avoid thinners on bare plastic. Does mixing thinner into primer count? No, yeah, I mean you should avoid just the thinner back onto plastic, but you definitely have to use the thinner with Surfacer. So yeah, use your Mr. Leveling Thinner mixed with this Mr. Surfacer when you're spraying that onto the kit. Yeah, definitely you have to thin that Mr. Surfacer. You can't spray that just right onto the kit, it's too thick. Let's see. Chips or chip. Said, I just got my airbrush and it's a Sparmax DH103. Have you used this one before? And if yes, what was your experience? I'm not sure, because actually I don't even know the model number for the one that I have. I forget. Hang on, Sparmax DH103, which one's that? Let me see. Sparmax DH103. Looks similar to the one that I have. It might be the same one that I have, actually. Yeah, I think this is the same one that I have, in which case it's good. Yeah. Yes, let me see here. Yeah, I believe that's the same one that I have, and yeah, it's good. I like it. All right. Brent asking, is this kit good because you're planning to buy one? Yeah, it's good. Shout out to USA Gundam Store for dropping some EW Megami Device pre-orders. There you go. Yes, Patrick. Thank you for the shout out. I should let you guys know about that as well too. But yeah. Does the DH103 come with everything you need to start up? New. Yeah, I mean, like it. I mean, everything you need to start up. No, I mean it's just the airbrush. So I mean, the hose is separate, and the compressor is separate. I mean, so no, not everything. It comes with everything you need, like just for the airbrush to start up. Yeah. Thank you, Patrick, for the reminder about the new Megami Device stuff up on the site too. I'll check that out, share that with everyone. Just want to build up these weapons here first before we build the backpack. So that's on there, and on there. Kind of tricky. Why did I tell you to put the parts in that side first? That's weird. And the barrel tip. There we go. Really interesting. Where did you get a Jim Cannon 2? I've been trying to get one for years now, feels like. Vero, I got this, if you guys will remember, and actually I don't even particularly remember, but I did a sponsored video for a Japanese proxy site, and I don't remember which one it was offhand actually, now come to think of it, but basically where like they told me to just, you know, find something on the sites and order, and they would like order it for me for plugging the website, whatever. And what I found was it was like a bundle of like a few HG kits all in one. So it was like within a set of some HG kits I got in a bunch of stuff from Japan. So yeah, as far as what I've heard since the announcement last week that I was going to be building it, I've been hearing that a lot of people have said that they have a really hard time finding that kit. So hopefully, very likely next year, Bandai will do a reissue of that kit. If it is in fact one that's not been reissued for a long time, then it's likely to be up for reissue pretty soon then. What happened to Mind Phoenix? Mind Phoenix, they had more than just their Gunpla business as well too. They also, I think, were just selling, had other business of selling clothes and stuff. And I think basically their Gunpla business was not doing that well, so they decided to just focus their resources on other aspects of their business. So that's it. Nothing really, nothing salacious or anything. Just the business wasn't working out that well for them. I mean, Australia is a pretty small market, and there's already a couple of pretty well established shops there kind of already. So yeah, it's understandable. That would have been a challenge for anyone. There's your accessories. Let's build the backpack. What's your opinion on a Filipino Gunpla style? Kazu, Filipino Gunpla style. I don't know. I'm not sure if I would be able to identify if I saw it in a lineup. Filipino Gunpla style. In general, though, I think it's not necessarily to my taste. I think, yeah, now that you mention it, I mean, there is, it's kind of hard to generalize, but there is kind of a bit of a style to the Philippine style in general, and it's not really to my taste, yeah, but it's not wrong, it's not bad, it's just different. It's more my personal taste tends to be a lot more in line with the Japanese style. I think Philippine style is different from Japanese style. Simon said, "Is the stream nearly over? I just woke up." Yes, Simon. Unfortunately, the stream is nearly over. We just have the backpack left here to build. That's it. Recommendation on spray top coat brands. Mike Wazowski. Well, a lot of people, even when they airbrush, they will still use spray cans for top coat. I'm not really sure why, but it is one way to go. Because spray can top coat can work perfectly well. So I understand the reasoning for that. It's just that the thing is with spray cans, with spray can primer, top coat, paint, anything, the problem is just that you're just wasting a lot of paint when you spray. It's such a wide spray. It's hard to get it focused. So that's why it works well for a top coat, because usually they'll have the kit already all built up and then just spraying it over the whole thing with top coat. So you get that wide coverage kind of over everything. So that it works pretty well for that. But if you're spraying the top coat with the kit disassembled in pieces or something like that, then it's kind of a waste to do it like that. But in which case I would recommend just using an airbrush. But what I use is Mr. Hobby, Mr. Color, just flat clear. But there is also, I think, GX 13 and 14 are also basically kind of similar as well too. I think it's GX 14 is the one that also has UV cut, which will also apparently help for the paints not to be affected by UV light, so by sunlight over time. I'm sure given time the paints will still fade or whatever from sunlight, but the UV cut aspect of that top coat is supposedly helpful. So yeah. Sir Tom said, "I also don't know Filipino style. Maybe build Gunpla and be a toxic culture." Just kidding. I'm Filipino. Well, I mean, no. Don't be silly. I don't know. Does anyone know any Filipino channels so I can see their works? I'm sure there are some. I can't think of any particular channel offhand. Having the hardest time recently finding some affordable Mr. Hobby top coat here in Canada. Sherry. Yes. I'm not sure what we've got at USA Gundam Store now. I think I remember Adam saying that they're got just recently or very near future, they're getting a bunch of stuff in from Mr. Hobby. I think they already got it, so maybe check the USA Gundam Store site, what they've got on there now. If not, I think maybe there's some coming. And if you're in Canada, you can still order it from there as well too. Does anyone have the HG Jim Ghoul? What's that? EA Gunpla. EA Gunpla is Filipino? Yeah, he is, isn't he? I think so, yeah. Right? Yeah. Oh yeah, Gio San Pedro, he's also Filipino. Yeah, he doesn't do a lot. He also does like a lot of other non-Gunpla stuff as well too, but yeah. Jim Quell. Oh, sorry, yeah. As someone said. Sorry. Yes, good call. Sterling, yes, someone said Jim Guell or something like that. I didn't know what they were talking about. Yeah, Jim Quell. Yeah, Jim Quell. It's a great kit. Yeah. Simple. You know, it's an older one. So, it's kind of similar to like the Jim Cannon 2 there that we just built up. You know, it's nothing too fancy, but it does the job. Let's see. Let's get this backpack assembly done here, shall we? Let's see. Krylon is super awful with models, Dan said. Yeah, as far as like if you're wanting to use spray paints, wouldn't recommend using like car spray paints. You see people using it and like you can use it well enough, but it's just not gonna be as good results as if you're using like paints that are meant for plastic model kits. So Mr. Color or Tamiya, basically, as far as like spray paints go. So there's the backpack in general, which, like I said, should be compatible with the newer HG kit, as far as I've heard. Now for the parachute pack. Alright, so we've got our string here for that. And that goes in here. Belt, as they're calling it. I was trying to see what they're calling it in the manual. They're calling it a belt, actually. Okay. So that goes into there, like that. And these parts need to put together. Are you interested in the new Ava frames or new G frame? Yes. Are you talking about like the new like Ava versions of G frame? Yeah, they don't. I mean, it's a cool idea, but the G frames, I mean, they're not great. They're fine. Anyway, I've got a couple of G frames, and I think they're pretty cool. But I mean, I think the complaint that people have about them is that the nub marks. What are you talking about? Here? Don't look at that. Don't look at that. Not much I can do about that on a big flat wide surface like that. Anyway, yeah, the G-frame stuff, I mean, the very legitimate complaints that people have about the G-frame is basically that in most cases you can get the high-grade version of it for not that much different in price, and it's going to be much better in most cases, like for the F91 for example, or the Ez-8, that's one example as well too. The Zaku, any of them, like the HGUC version is going to be slightly larger, slightly more expensive, but much better overall. So yeah, I can understand why people would not be so inclined to go for the, you know, a G-frame version. Alright, so let's see, that goes on there. And what am I supposed to do with these guys here? Oh, this looks annoyingly complicated. Okay, hang on. Are you getting the MG Jin? Yes, definitely. Just pre-ordered mine from USA Gundam Store with the Zaku code. Well, thank you for that. And yes, I will definitely be getting and reviewing that, certainly. Are you thinking of doing the Morstrom Iron Man kit? Yeah, you're talking about, like, that's the Iron Man model kit that recently came out, and then they just recently announced the blue one, the what is it, the Protector, right? What's the name of that one as well too? That's also coming out. If that's what you're talking about, yeah, I should be getting both of those actually in the mail. I think they're already sent, but yeah, both of those I'm getting directly from China. They were sending me, because we're gonna start to carry them, I think, at USA Gundam stores. So they were sending me a couple of samples. So yes, Rescue, yeah, Rescue, that's what it is, the blue one, yeah. Are you interested in the new Figurized Ultraman 7.5 Frontal Assault? Shuri, is that the black one you're talking about? The only new Ultraman Figurized one that I think I've seen recently is the black one. In which case, it's just a recolor, so not it does look great, but I'm not that interested in it just because I've already got the kit basically, and it's just a recolor of this, so I don't necessarily need just a black color version of that. I can just paint the one that I have in black. Yeah. I mean, it looks awesome in black, definitely. But like I said, because I've already basically got the kit, I'm not gonna also get the black one now. Okay, so what we have to do with these is fold this around here. Just trying to make sure I'm looking at this right. Okay, I am, and it's weird. Okay. So gotta use this sticker here like this. And what you're doing is basically with the belt here, fold it around the shoulder armor, then you use this sticker on here like this. So like someone was asking about earlier about an alternative to using this sticker. Alternatively, what you could do is just, I think you could just make something out of plot plate really easily. Man, this is very hard to do for me. There we go. And you have to just wrap the sticker around here, and it's quite long, so you have to wrap it around like 3 times. Seems a bit excessive, but I guess the good point of that is that it's also making it thicker, making it look like it's a bit of a thicker of a piece rather than like just a sticker on there, I suppose. And the good thing is that you have extras. You only need 2, but they give you 6. So like if you put this on there and then later you wanted to take the backpack off for something, and then later you decide to put the backpack on again, you've got extras of the stickers, you could use it again later, so I guess that's good. Let's see. "71 older people tend to think anything not making money is a waste of time, though." What are you talking about? Oh. By the way, my grandma really wants to stop building Gunpla. Oh, okay. That's the context for that comment. I was trying to see what that was all about, but it's kind of annoying to put these on, really, to be honest. Also, just with my big fingers, not the easiest thing to do. Come on, you. And then also trying to get the two sides to be even, I think is going to be tricky as well too. They're going to be close, but maybe not exactly right. At this point, I just want it just to be on there. It doesn't have to look perfect. Yeah. Not great system for that. But I mean, I guess kind of what else could they really do? Sells the look good enough, but kind of my biggest problem with this kit, to be honest, is the head is kind of too big. It's got a little bit of a big bobblehead on it. I don't really like the head for this. And yeah, the ribbons, just the belt's just kind of like in the way. It's just kind of annoying. But there we go. Yeah. Some mixed thoughts indeed on this one. Basically, the kit in general is good, and the details and everything is good. The construction, everything is good. The head seems too big, and the ribbons are dumb. I mean, a cool idea, but in practice they don't work that well, and they're just kind of a pain. Yeah. I think a good alternative might be to the ribbon would be to just use a really thin sheet of plot plate, just to get like a 0.5 millimeter or even 0.3 maybe. 0.5 or 0.3 millimeter plot plate. Just cut a long strip of that and use that instead. It'll be malleable like this, but and then just basically to maybe heat it in just like some hot water. Just drop your strip into some hot water and then take it out, get it on the kit, and you can like bend it a little bit to be in like the exact shape that you want. Probably be the better way to go about that. I want to place a couple of these stickers on here real quick. Let's see. 11. One of these on the backpack. Here. Where are we at on time? Just right about at 2 hours, it looks like. And 6 EFGF. For the ground force, we got the big 08 for the shield. So no number choices for this. I was hoping to do the custom numbers for this one as well too, but all we have is the 08, unfortunately. And 81 for the chest. this bar for the shoulder. This gray bar is the indicator that it's the commander, right? Is that right? That's what I was thinking, but I was not sure. I'm thinking I might be wrong about that. And that is basically it. We got a few more little markings here, but I'm not really too worried about that. That's kind of enough on there. I'll go ahead and stick one of these here on the shield as well too. EFGF. Maybe right there. Great stream as always. Shri, thank you. Appreciate that. So yeah, like I said, just a reminder to you guys, I'll just kind of go over this again. I don't like that actually on the top. I'm going to take that off there. Now that we're getting to the end of the stream here, guys, I'll just also kind of go over the plans for the next couple days, week or so, just to give you a heads up on that. So as I mentioned before, I think I mentioned to you guys before, that this week I'm focusing on some EFSF grunt suits, HGUC Earth Force suits, but next week I'm going to be doing some HG Xeon kits. So probably tomorrow I'll put up another poll for you guys to be able to vote to which kits are going to be built on a live stream. So just look out for that poll tomorrow regarding those. And also, we'll be working on the best and worst of 2020 video. I'll hopefully have that for you guys out by the end of this week. And let's see, what else? Just, yeah, the reviews for all these guys. The Jagan review is up later today. The Jagan Equus type review will be up tomorrow. And then, let's see. Yeah, then Thursday and Friday will be the reviews here for the 2 kits that we built today. And also, we'll have the review for the EFGF, or the EFF version of the Zakuto F2 HG kit and a HG Pale Rider kit. I'm also snapping up to a review as well too. So lots of reviews and stuff on the way, and we'll be starting on the Trash to Treasure GPO2, and hopefully have the first video in that series out for you guys next week. But yeah, so that's kind of what's going on here over the next week or so. Zaku wants people to just talk shit. Oh, yeah, I would prefer not any shit talking in the stream. I mean, about anyone in general, but yeah. Anyway, yeah, just not really the place, I suppose, for that. You guys are welcome to your own opinions, whatever, and welcome to share them, but, I mean, just be nice, I suppose. Anyway, that's it for today, guys. Thanks so much for hanging out. Thank you to those of you guys who use Super Chat as well. Always appreciate that, and I'll see you guys later. So yeah, tune in tomorrow morning. Josh and I will be live doing a new episode of Plamo no Trend. So we'll see you guys then. Bye, guys.